Where's Will?
Which actually brings me to a point. If you've got really, really tiny paintballs that you bought from a store and you need it to be a little bit larger, open up the bag, let it sit for about half an hour. You'll be surprised how much the balls swell up in that time. Again, we're only talking millimeters, but that's enough to make a difference. Since we're talking about paintball maintenance too, I want to debunk another myth. I hear a lot of kids talking about, oh, my friend Tommy took some paint and froze it and brought it to the field so that it would shoot harder or shoot straighter or whatever. I have no idea why you want to do that, but you know what? Let's debunk. Now, previous to this show, I took a pot of paint and I put it in the freezer in order to absolutely freeze it solid. And I've got another pot of paint from the same batch that I've got sitting over there right now. Let's see if there's a difference. Ooh, I get to shoot stuff. So first we're going to start with the non-frozen paintballs, which I kept at room temperature. And chronograph's at 275 feet per second, or plus minus 5 feet per second therein. All right. With that in mind, let's run the target range. Okay, that's pretty much what I'd expect out of normal paint. And now, we will try the same thing with the frozen paintballs. Let's see what we come up with. And it still looks a little cold. You can already see how some of the paint has become deformed because I put it under super cold conditions and tried to keep it there. But also it's kind of dimpled up, and you know, I really wouldn't, without even putting it over the chronograph range, I wouldn't want to actually play with this stuff. Without actually firing a single ball, I can already see why I wouldn't want to do this. I mean, this one right here, you can actually see the fill, because it became solid, has settled to the bottom of the ball. And you can actually kind of see that from here. Things I do for experimentation. Alright, chronograph's at 269, 279, 272. It's shooting at about the same velocity as the last batch of unfrozen paintballs. Now let's see how it actually shoots going to the same targets. Oh, it's jammed. It's jammed up. Oh, dude. I'll be surprised if this ball fires at all. This could be rather entertaining. Absolutely no advantage at all. So I think we can safely say that there's absolutely no advantage to freezing your paint before you play. And another thing too, just for the record, do you know how hard it is to keep paint frozen on your way to a paintball field? But the biggest enemy that your paintballs have is heat. Extreme heat causes the gelatin to actually fuse together. If there's any moisture in the ball at all, they're going to have one big mass. Matter of fact, the biggest disaster you can do to your paintballs is to leave it in direct sunlight, or leave it in a place where it's going to get hot. Kind of like inside your car. That's kind of hot. Drum roll, please. Okay, they didn't form a solid mass like I was hoping they would. Now these have been sitting in my car for about an hour now. And again, you can see the separation of the paint. You can see the balls have swollen up a little bit and deformed around each other. This is a normal paintball. This is the same batch of paint left out in the sunlight for about an hour. This is why you don't leave your paint out in direct sunlight, because it is a gelatin shell and the gelatin will melt and fit its container. The best way to combat this is take a small cooler with you and put your paint, still in its bags, inside that cooler. It's a small thing that you can do, but any small thing helps. Now, all that's being said about paintballs, they are rather resistant, but you want to take care of your paintballs. If you take care of your paintballs will take care of you. I'm off to the next game, so see you guys next week. That dude's like really throwing me off too. Waste management. One of the finest things at your local paintball field. That's a guy that, if you think your job is crap, just remember. Yeah.